Looks like we might be. I don't know, man. That was wild. Okay, so it is working. Before we begin this, I'm gonna sort some things out. I gotta get some things squared away before we dive. Oh, what a what a what a what a mouthful this is. We've got us a problem, ladies and gentlemen. And to be frank, I don't even know what it is. We've got a video out. People are freaking out about it. We're going to watch the thing. I've got it now. This isn't me watching from some stream or something. This is me watching. I've downloaded it. Why 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 are outlets removing this from their platform? What we know is that it's considered misinformation. I'm gonna go to a link that I posted earlier and kind of look into why it's being ripped off of everything. Okay. Um, like I said, I have the video here. It's here for us to watch. So I'm also gonna watch it, but with a grain of salt, and that's how everybody else should too. Okay, I'm not saying that they're all wrong. I'm not a doctor, nor am I gonna sit here and be like that's not true on anything they say. But I will say this: the whole time that I've followed COVID-19, I've only listened to epidemiologists only. I decided that after we had the wishy-washiness of like Fauci and then the WHO and then the CDC, and this was early on, and I said this. You can go back and somebody can fact check me right now or something if they wanted to. Doesn't matter to me. I know what I'm doing now. I evolve in thought. But I've only ever listened to epidemiologists. I feel like that's who we should listen to as far as techniques go. Now then we get like Andy Bashir making it to where we have to wear them in restaurants and stuff like that. That's why I can't see the political motives in this. What I do see political motives in is doing things prematurely, causing a problem. Okay, doing things too late, causing a problem, right? And within that, there's no perfect answer. So to me, it's like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Okay, and that's where I've sat on this. I think that the initial reaction from Andy Bashir was not a bad thing. I think that the initial reaction from a lot of places that have people react in ways that weren't just outlandish, I think that those states reflect that action. Like a lot of the states that had a governor that acted quick, but then understood the weight and the load that's going on. Then I think they adjusted afterwards, and I think we have a governor that did that. However, at this point, we have people in white coats standing in front of a government building and they're saying stuff that I've heard all around is false. Okay, if this is the truth, and what I mean by that is if they're actually telling misinformation, we've got a big problem here. And another thing, we can't go around sharing this like it's true just because Facebook's wanted to delete it. We can't do that. You can't act like that. You can't. Just because somebody wants something deleted, listen, Facebook newly implemented this thing where they put this fact checking stuff up. They've always removed, ever since like Pizzagate and all that stuff occurred, in which Pizzagate I don't think was like a justified thing because that specific incident turned out to be false. Like when people say Pizzagate, they're not talking about cheese pizza Pizzagate. They're talking about Pizzagate as in the whole thing that started all of this, which is something that I feel like a lot of people probably don't stomach quickly. And it's that There was the conspiracy spread that in the basement of a pizza parlor there was a child sex ring, and the misinformation that spread didn't force someone to, but encouraged someone to go to the place, demand to see the basement. They said no, we don't have a basement, literally, and they got shot. And that's not right. Don't care what you say. You can say whatever you want. You can say, you know, child trafficking's real. I'll acknowledge it with you. That at that pizza place wasn't real, and it got someone killed.
Circumcised.
Hello.
We're just gonna leave that. I was in the Discord and somebody said the word circumcised. I don't know. You didn't even hear that, so I didn't even have to say that out loud. Yeah, you did hear it. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So we're going to check this out. This is a 43 minute video, which is also weird. This is the one that's getting spread around online a lot right now. I find it weird that this is a 42-minute video. I did hear that the speech or the briefing is what they're calling it was about 45 minutes. So I doubt that we're missing that much of this. I would have liked to have seen the beginning of what this was. I wish I would have been able to get the video from Breitbart, but I wasn't around. Whatever. We got the majority of it. Okay. So there's 8 people here. There are people here, or there are people that I wish would watch this. Because we're actually going to do what people that I know that share things like this should do. Okay. I guess we're going to start it out. I don't really know how to take this. I don't know how to take this in. I don't know. Like, I'm going to remove my face from this and everything because I don't, where the hell is it at? Yeah, I don't like once, I don't know. I'm just removing my face from it. That's that. Simple. So let's watch it. When I see something or hear something that just alarmingly points out as like bullshit, I'm going to stop the thing and come back. But we're going to watch this thing. Also, I'm not sharing. I want to be clear, and I put it on the top of my shit because for 2 reasons. For one, let's actually change what that says. Let's change what it says. The text at the top. I'm gonna say, for informational purposes only. Can we get that thing to go faster or no? I don't think so. Stretch, mother effer. Okay, there we go. So we got that up. I'm going to move this down too. Hold on. Okay, and now you're going to see mostly the video only, and it's going to say for informational purposes only at the top, and I'm going to disappear, and we're going to get into this, and we're going to watch this thing, and if something is said that is wacky, I am stopping the video, and we're going to talk about it, because I'm not dealing with it, okay? This is getting around to my community. It's getting around to people. People are taking it as fact already. They haven't even had enough time to fucking look and see if it's true, and that's the big thing, boys and girls. Let me come back, because I got to let you know something. Listen, whether or not all of the stuff that these people are saying is true or not, you need to give this time. This is a new and evolving thing. I'm not saying they're wrong, and I'm not saying that I know what the right thing is, because I have no clue. I do not do even iota of what these people do daily, and what some of them have formerly done. I also would like, and I don't know if this is possible, it's definitely not possible right now, but I'd really like a list of all these people that are standing here. I'd like a list, because that's important. It's very important. They'll tell us when they come up there, but if I were to introduce myself, it would probably be a little fluffed. And to remember that doctors can be political. That's a thing. It's a thing that happened. There were such things as Nazi doctors. And it wasn't just like they were a doctor that just ended up just performing experiments on Jews that the Nazis captured. That's not how that went. They did that because they wanted to pursue a medical career, but at somebody else's expense. That's what we could be looking at right here. Who knows? We don't know this. We're going to look now, and I'm going to shut my mouth so we can do that. So let's just go ahead. Okay? Yes. Va-va-boom. Gotta make sure the volume's right, so don't freak. Please play.
1/5 of 1%. So kids are tolerating the infection very frequently in numbers, and
All right, well, that's the beginning of it. 1/5 of 1%. We're talking about kids. I don't know who the hell this guy is, and that's where we're at, because some of the beginning of this got cut out. Okay.
unfortunately, the mortality rate of children is about 1/5 of 1%. So kids are tolerating the infection very frequently. They're actually asymptomatic. I also want to say that children are not the drivers of this pandemic. People were worried about initially if children were going to actually be the ones to push the infection along.
I think this is very important for me to notice, so I'm gonna drop in and I'm gonna bring it to attention. As of yesterday, there was let me I want to get this like completely right. Dude, I just looked something up on this like 5 minutes ago. Hold on a second. Okay. So the HEALS Act. The HEALS Act was just brought on by the GOP, so by the Republicans. They just brought that into the Senate, and I guess that's where it's at right now, and we're going to see what happens. By August 7th, we'll hear something, because on August 7th, I believe it's on August 7th. Yes. So August 7th is the last day for the Senate to be in session. They'll go on a recess for the entirety of August, but we've got to get a stimulus check out. That's the goal right now of honestly both sides. So it's kind of cool that both sides are doing it, but that's what I believe, and there's no ulterior motive behind this. I'm just telling you. That's why I believe this has been a thing that a bunch of doctors got together and decided that they need to come and speak on the thing, because this big bill that's coming up next is going to include like schools, when they're going to open, whether or not we want them to open, and Republicans in the Senate think that that's where it's going to come to a halt whenever Democrats see that's in the bill. And I think it'll be jumbled up a little bit. Okay, that's it. That's why I think they're talking about this, and that's why he's talking about schools right now, is because of the HEALS Act. That's what it's called. The last one was called the CARES Act. This one will be called the HEALS Act. And they just threw that up in the air yesterday. So I'll shut up again. Sorry. Lol.
Opposite is happening. Kids are tolerating it very well. They're not passing it on to their parents. They're not passing it on to their teachers. Dr. Mark Woolhouse from Scotland.
Dr. Mark Woolhouse from Scotland. I'm writing this stuff down. You know what? You should be too, but I'm going to do it, and that's that.
Hey, Daddy!
Hey, buddy! What's up? You want to learn about coronavirus? Probably not. No, you can't have that, buddy. Hold on one moment. Okay, what was this dude's name again? We're going to find out. And there may be periods where I mute or pause or whatever because of my son's running around. So, get over it. All right.
Dr. Mark Woolhouse.
Dr. Mark Woolhouse. What's really weird is he said that like he didn't even know what the hell he was saying. Dr. Mark Woolhouse from Scotland? He doesn't know that guy. I'm not saying anything to discredit him. I'm just saying like my analysis from him saying his name that weird. Jesus, that was fucking weird. Dynamics. Okay, so this guy looks like he's gonna tell us what he is, but he is real. And that's all I want to know, lol.
From Scotland, who is a pediatric infectious disease specialist and epidemiologist, said the following. He said, there has not been one documented case of COVID being transferred from a student to a teacher in the world.
Okay. All right. So let's break that down. There's not been a single case of a single person that is a student contracting COVID-19 and giving it to a teacher. There's not a single case of it. I don't know about you all, but that's nothing to me. Like that doesn't that doesn't amount to shit to me. Great. What are you saying that for? Yet what? I don't care about that. Why does that what scientific significance does that hold? Is all I'm asking. I'm not saying he's wrong about anything. I'm asking that. What scientific significance does that hold at all, if any? Because I can't really think of any, to be frank. Daddy? Yep. Sup, Dank Ginger. Okay. All right. So he said that there's not a single place in the world that a student has contracted COVID and given it to their teacher. So what are we gonna do? Well, we're not just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna look into this. We're gonna see what this dude was saying. So hold on. Give me a momento, and we're gonna pull this sucker up, and we're gonna check it out. I've got to get the scroll text at the top, boys. Okay. All right, let's check it out. So this is from the Times. This is a news outlet from the UK. Okay. Mark Woolhouse, an infectious disease epidemiologist at Edinburgh University, offered reassurance to staff preparing for the full reopening of schools next month. Oh my God, a paywall. Imagine that. All right. Well, there's that. I mean, he says that in hindsight, closing schools in March was probably a mistake, but the limited role children play in spreading the virus only became clear further along the infection curve. He said, one thing we haven't learned is that children are certainly, in the 5 to 15 brackets from school to early years, are minimally involved in the epidemiology of this virus. Okay. So there's that. We just cleared it up. So that's what. That's the scientific significance that has. And it kind of makes sense. I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to pretend that I knew that was what that meant. You can't do that. Sorry if you do it. You can't do that. You're not an expert either, unless you're an epidemiologist. But it sounds like to me that it became more clear over the infection curve that children do not contribute to the spread of this virus as much. Now, that's something that we've obviously been performing in practice. So there wasn't much chance for a child to give it to a teacher. Sounds like word loop to make something sound better. And that's a good way to look at it, too. There wasn't fucking school, so how the hell would they know? And that's funny. That's funny. Now, look. You want to know why I'm on top of this today? And why like, it wasn't like I was really busy today, right now. But you want to know why I stopped everything I was doing and decided that I'm going to get on here and do this? Because guess what? If there's somebody hiding something like this, yeah, we need to find out why. But guess what? I'm going to find out what the people in the video are hiding. Because nothing is as it seems anymore. And for everybody to think immediately that just because everybody's trying to delete this video, that it's got facts on it, you're wrong. You're wrong. You know what I'm hearing right now? And this is just me playing skeptical. Like a lot of people say that if you don't play, you're an idiot. Okay? I'm playing it. I'm not saying, I'm not going to think that this is true off the bat. You know what I'm going to say? Why does he want kids going to back to school so bad? Of course, there's the obvious social issues. There's obvious we need kids in school. Education's important. Blah, blah, blah. Talk about that shit when COVID's not going on. But anyways. Why do this is the facts. I'm not speculating. Why do Republicans want kids in school back so bad, right? But then we've also got Republicans that have their kids either not attending school or we have them, I'm not going to say that because I think I read that. It's probably misinformation. So why do we have Republicans, the same Republicans that are pushing for schools to be open, why do we have those Republicans' children and grandchildren not in school? That's what doesn't make sense to me. It seems to me like it would take some very hard convincing to convince me otherwise of this, but it seems to me like Seems to me like there's some money somewhere. I'm not saying that that's the facts. It seems to me like there's some money somewhere. What a really, really weird thing to like grasp onto. We got to get these kids back in school. Now, that's not weird as it sounds, but what's weird is we got to get your kids back in school. My kids aren't going back to school. Yours got to get in there. We got to get them schools open. That's odd to me. You want to call it whatever you want? Don't care. I'm being skeptical just as everybody else is, and that's weird shit. I think it's odd. You want to talk to me about something that's weird? Tell me why the same people that are telling us that we should get our schools back open don't have their kids in schools, because that's how it's going. And it's a lot of politicians that are doing this too. Speculate they want to open schools to push mandatory vaccinations. Also, something that a lot of people probably don't realize or put forth into making decisions is that Republicans would probably also be okay with not mandatory vaccinations, but for vaccinations as well. And I'm not getting involved in any vaccination thing with this virus. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do it. It's way too early. We gotta have years. Vaccines come with years of research. This is a quick one, and it's for a coronavirus, something just as similar to anything else as the common cold. I'll pass. I'll have to get a vaccine every year, and I already don't do the flu. I'll pass. Okay, so there's that. Let's continue. Just completely blacked the whole thing out. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go.
In the world. I think that is important that all of us who are here today realize that our kids are not really the ones who are driving the infection. It is being driven.
Call me a piece of shit and tell me it's not my business, but I want to know if his kids are going to school. Because you know what? You know what's really cool about, like, say, going to the dentist? We'll say going to the dentist. You know what's cool about that? I can go to the dentist and I can say, hey, dentist, what toothbrush do you use? Then guess what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to get that toothbrush if I'm that concerned. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know if his kids are in school, if his grandkids are in school, what he's telling his grandchildren, and what he's telling everybody that he knows as his peers that they should do, because people are asking him. I wonder if he's saying to send them back. I'd like to know that. That's like a human element that I'd like to know about. I want to know. Sorry, it may not be none of my business, but kind of is. You're telling me to do something, and I know that people that you're telling also that they should open schools, they're saying the same thing with you, and their kids aren't going to schools. I want to know. I want to know that. What's up, Mr. Muhammad TR? All right, I'm going to shut up again. We're never going to get through this whole video. We're a minute in, and I haven't shut up. I haven't. Let's go.
By older individuals. And yes, we can send the kids back to school, I think, without fear. And this is the big issue right now, as Congressman Norman alluded to. This is the really important thing we need to do. We need to
Mike's been muted the entire time. Ralph Norman. Hold on, let me get it up here. Ralph Norman is an American real estate developer and politician. He's a U.S. rep for South Carolina's 5th congressional district. Looks like he went to a couple